Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a mass shooting in northern Kentucky killed 4 and injured 3 more people over the weekend. And the recent KSP crime report reveals an ongoing battle against drugs.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6:30 on Monday, July 8th. Now let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, everyone. The fog and the low clouds continue to thicken up and lower. 64 outside our door here at WYMT, and the visibility drops as you make your way toward Harlan and Jonesville now. Reporting in with 3-mile visibility at both locations. Williamsburg has improved and back up to 7 miles. Temps 60s right now. A couple of us in the lower 70s. Jackson at 72. Monticello at 71. Satellite radar composite shows some thicker cloud cover coming in from the west and southwest. That'll dim the sunshine north and west of Hazard here over the next couple of hours. As we head through the afternoon, we'll look for a shower or thunder shower to the south and southeast of Hazard as we head through the afternoon. That means, yes, indeed, we'll get up to 91 with a few of us getting wet this afternoon to this evening. More about the First Alert 7-day forecast in this half hour. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. We continue to follow Saturday's deadly mass shooting in Florence that left 4 people dead and 3 more in the hospital. Florence police have now identified the 4 who died as 20-year-old Shane Miller and Hayden Robicki, 19-year-old Delaney Erie, and 44-year-old Melissa Parrott. Connor Marksberry is one of the victims currently in the hospital. We spoke to his mother, Robin Gibbs, to learn more about his condition.
He's stable and he's alive, and he's, he doesn't know anything. We're not allowing him to have any information right now. I believe we got the call about 4:30 from UC Medical Center that my son had been shot and he was here at the hospital. So, obviously shock and disbelief.
And we are still working to get more information regarding what led up to the shooting. And gun violence continues to be a prevalent issue in the Commonwealth, as that shooting in Boone County Saturday was the 7th mass shooting in Kentucky in 2024 and the nation's 277th mass shooting to happen this year. That's according to data from the Gun Violence Archive, which define a mass shooting as one where 4 or more people are shot, not including the shooter. One man is behind bars after a shooting in Laurel County. Officials say on Saturday, 21-year-old Joseph C. Brewer shot 21-year-old Jaden Jackson in an apparent road rage incident. Doyle Solfridge says it was a scary thing to witness in his front yard. He adds he thinks a bullet ended up striking his home.
Well, it's kind of scary in a way. I think we found a bullet hole over there in my house that about 20 or 30 feet away there that, when he shot, I guess it either went through the boy or that got shot and hit the siding on my house. We were pretty sure that that's where the bullet hole was.
Solfridge says this stuff does not often happen in his community. This week, the 4th of July holiday marked a somber anniversary for people in Bardstown. Exactly 9 years ago, Crystal Rogers was reported missing. Rogers was last seen July 3rd, 2015 at her boyfriend Brooks Houck's home. 2 days later, on July 5th, her car was found. Inside were her purse, cell phone, and keys. The mother of 5 was nowhere to be found. For weeks, family, friends, and community members searched countless acres of Nelson, LaRue, Marion, and Washington counties for the 35-year-old on foot with 4-wheelers, canines, horses, and boats. Nelson County investigators also searched a farm owned by Houck's family. Houck was named a suspect in the case a few months later. A man accused of killing a Kentucky sheriff's deputy is now charged with promoting contraband in jail. Jailers at the Bourbon County Regional Detention Center say they found 3 metal objects in Stephen Xinsheng's cell. Deputies found the objects after following up on a tip that a hole was made in the bathroom to gain access to an outside facility. Investigators say the objects could have been used as weapons. Xinsheng is charged with murder for Scott County Deputy Caleb Conley. Conley was shot and killed in May 2023. In Louisville, a now former Baptist Health Hospital worker is accused of stealing credit cards from patients. Court documents said Lauren Miller stole at least $1,500 from 5 victims. A team from Baptist Health was able to match Miller's work schedule in the critical care unit to the times when the thefts happened. St. Matthews police say some of the patients were very sick and sometimes even sedated during the thefts.
In several instances, they did, once they became more conscious, realize that the cards were missing or that there was items missing out of their wallet or even the whole wallet was missing. They reported that to us.
In a statement from Baptist Health, they said Miller is no longer employed by the hospital. They would not share any additional information. Kentucky State Police released its annual crime report, and as WYMT's RJ Johnson shares, law enforcement is continuing to crack down on drugs.
According to the 2023 Crime in Kentucky report, drug and narcotic offenses slightly increased from more than 51,000 in 2022 to more than 53,000 in 2023.
We see it every day, unfortunately. Like I said, it's a big part of our community, unfortunately. But it's some of those things where if we can combat the drugs, we're able to combat a lot of the other crimes associated from that drug use as well.
Trooper Matt Gayhart with Kentucky State Police Post 13 says they work every day to get drugs off of the streets.
It's usually an escape from reality or whatever their everyday life is. And then on the flip side of that, we've got officers and troopers out here working daily to try to remove as much of the drugs from the community as possible.
Hobie Doherty with the London Police Department says they have created a task force within Laurel County.
The task force actually surpassed the numbers that they had seized in years past with the amount of narcotics that they've gotten off the street,
which has been successful. Both Doherty and Gayhart say they also work with schools to help educate students on the dangers of drugs.
One of the biggest things we're doing is trying to educate our youth. And I think that's where it starts, is in educating them and making them understand why drugs is not an alternative that they can use to get out of a bad situation or whatever situation they may be in.
Just to start at an appropriate age to let them know that there are these dangers out there to protect themselves so they can make a better informed decision themselves.
Gayhart says being vigilant in the community has helped their fight against the drug epidemic.
You see programs like that all across Eastern Kentucky especially, so I think that goes a long ways in trying to give people resources.
However, they still have a long way to go. RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Gayhart says the Angel Initiative has been successful. The program lets folks come into KSP Post statewide and ask for treatment. A federal lawsuit argues Kentucky's voting policy violates federal protections for voters. A federal lawsuit filed by Kentuckians for the Commonwealth argues House Bill 574 violates requirements under the National Voter Registration Act of 1993 by allowing voters to be removed without notice, response opportunity, and waiting period. It comes after Kentucky's Secretary of State Michael Adams says he removed nearly 350,000 people from the voter polls in his first term, including people who have passed or moved out of state.
We want them to tell us. We want them to tell us, hey, is this right? Did you move out of state? And if so, do you want to deregister from the rolls or do you want to stay on the rolls? And if they don't tell us either way, we leave them on the rolls just to be safe.
Since the bill in question was passed in 2021, Adams says the timing of the lawsuit is an attempt to disrupt the upcoming election. A new scam is targeting people who use EBT cards and food stamps. Two Kentucky mothers say on July 1st, someone had withdrawn hundreds of dollars of their EBT funds just a couple hours after their monthly deposits were made. Their situation isn't unique. The Cabinet for Health and Family Services says there have been more than 2,000 EBT theft claims from Kentuckians so far this year.
So I go check the app, and lo and behold, around 4 a.m. in the morning, it said Wells Fargo Bank took $650 off. And this, I knew my money was gone. I'm like, and this is like 7 in the morning. Who gets up at 4 in the morning to go, you know what I mean?
To keep your funds safe, experts say you should make sure your PIN number is not easy to guess. They also recommend frequently changing that PIN number. If your money is stolen, it is important to report it to the Department of Community-Based Services within 30 days.
Alrighty, let's get you out the door. Quick weather update. I know it's a Monday after a holiday weekend. You feel like you're running a molasses right now. Don't worry, weather-wise will pick you up. Not super duper hot nor super duper steamy this morning. 60s, lower 70s at Jackson and Monticello. The only thing that's going to slow you down, some fog issues as you leave Hazard down toward Harlan and back into the Cumberland Valley as we do run with the cloud cover issues north of the Hal Rogers as you make your way up toward Lexington. That's where the thickest of cloud cover will be over the next couple of hours. And once the fog does burn off, we'll see a decent amount of sunshine as we head through the afternoon. A shower or thunder shower may be popping up from Hazard Point south and southeast mainly, and a high today in Perry County up to 91. All right, barrel made landfall. Where, how strong, and does it affect us? Details with the First Alert 7-day forecast coming up in a few moments. Olivia?
Thanks, Tim, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:42. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. Texas is bracing for heavy rain and serious storm surge from Hurricane Beryl as it already makes landfall in the states.